Hi, it's Paris from EpicReviewGuys, and on TV I've been seeing endless ads for an app called MileIQ, and it's unusual to see ads for apps, so I thought I should check this out. It's an app that you can get on your phone for free if you have a small business and you need to keep track of miles, or for medical expenses you need to keep track. This app says it can do everything you used to do in these.
EpicReviewGuys.
The IRS says you have to keep a written record of your mileage if you're going to claim that on your tax return, and so these books are ever popular at Office Depot. When I had my computer repair business, I would fill one up, each page all the way, with the miles that I put driving out to customers' homes to fix their computers. Also, you can keep track of all your medical and I think charity drives as well. You write down the starting mileage, the ending mileage, the total mileage, and what you were doing on that particular trip. A fair amount of work, which is why they came out with an app that they say makes these unnecessary. I've been running MileIQ on my Android phone for about the past month or so. They also have an iPhone version of it. It is a free app, but I think what I've learned is for most people it may not end up being free. There is a pay version of it, and I think most people who are going to use this seriously will end up paying that monthly fee. And here's the reason why. You can see MileIQ here with a couple notifications, one about my uncategorized drives, but the other one is telling me I've reached my limit of free drives for this month. Now it's time to upgrade to the pay version. And going into the app, first thing they do is notify me, oh, you've used up your 40 free drives. Now you would think, well, I probably don't do 40 drives that I need to keep track of. Even when I was doing the computer work, 40 would be quite a bit for 1 month that I had to write down the miles for. The thing with the MileIQ app is that it records all of your drives. That's what makes it so convenient. It's always running in the background, so long as your phone is in your pocket or in the car. Anytime you go anywhere, it makes a note of that drive, and that counts as one of your 40 drives. So if you think about how often you go out different places, you probably go out at least once or twice a day. That's how you exceed the 40 drives per month, and that's how you end up having to upgrade to the pay version. So expect to have to pay that $6 a month if you are seriously going to use this. Now the IRS says this does count, apparently, according to the app, as keeping a proper record of your mileage, so you can use this. Now you can see a drive I took right here. This was going from the supermarket over to buy gas, where I found it for $1.99 a gallon. Pretty good deal. And was this a personal drive? Yes, it was. It was not a business drive. And categorizing it is as simple as sliding it to either personal or to business. This one's personal. Swipe it over. Next up is a 20-mile drive. That one also personal. When you've classified all your drives, and let's say it's the end of the month, so you want a record of this, you can have it email you out the form that shows all the drives listed with the total number of miles and their best guess of the total amount that would be, assuming the IRS doesn't change the rate during the year. The printout for your records you can get in a CSV file, which is like an Excel spreadsheet, or you can get it in a PDF. You can also get it for just the business drives in a PDF form. Now here's the first page of the PDF printout. You can see it lists the date and time, and also whether it was personal or business drive. In the middle section that I'm not going to show you is all of the from where to where, and then here you can see the number of miles driven and the estimated value for those business drives. I found that MileIQ works pretty well. I had a few occasions where it showed me I had been somewhere I didn't remember going. It seemed to be like a mile off from the destination that I actually went to. And then sometimes it seems like if you stop at a light for a couple minutes, it's a very long light, it can get confused and think you've stopped the car and that was the end of your trip. And then when the light turns green and you go again, it starts up as a new trip starting from that point. So a few little things like that. But other than that, it never missed me going out somewhere. Even if it got a little confused exactly where I went, it always knew I was going somewhere. Also, it's good about nagging you, if you want to look at it that way, both by email and through little pop-ups on the screen, little notifications to remind you to classify your drives, because once it gets to be a few weeks have gone by and you've got 50 drives, it's hard to go back 2 weeks ago and remember, well, what was I doing on that Monday? Would this drive have been personal or business? So they try to remind you to keep up with that. Considering that your 40 drives include all the drives that you make, unless you turn the drive detection off, where it won't automatically figure out that you're going somewhere and make note of it, which is a recipe for forgetting to turn it on a lot of times, I think. So most people are going to leave that drive detection on. You're going to have more than 40 drives in a month, which means for it to keep track of all of your drives so you can get credit for all the business drives towards the end of the month, you'll end up with the pay version of it. It's $6 a month if you pay monthly, or if you'll pay one full year in advance, then it ends up being $60 for the whole year. These mileage books go for about $4 each. Since we have the 2 cars, we have 2 books, so it's $8 a year for this. But when you consider the value of keeping proper track of the mileage now, very quickly some missed drives could end up paying the yearly cost of this app. I would usually get $2,000 or $3,000 worth of mileage that I would claim when I was doing my computer business, because I was driving all over the place. So if you do a lot of business that you need to keep mileage for, I think even though you're going to spend more money figuring you have to buy the pay version of the app, by not missing any of those drives, I bet this would actually end up saving you money over the course of the year. Also saves you a lot of frustration of having to write in those little boxes, and always remember, not just at the start of the drive to write down the starting mileage, but when you get home and you're tired and you just want to get in and go to bed, to take the time to write down the ending mileage too. So the MileIQ app, they advertise it all the time on late night TV. Seems like an as seen on TV product, but I found it actually does what they claim. And even though they make a big deal about how it's free, if you're seriously going to use this, you probably better plan on paying for that pay version. I'll put a link to the MileIQ app in the description box down below this video if you'd like to find out more about it. We'll be back with some more unique gadget and idea reviews soon. You can keep checking back for those, or you can click that subscribe button down below. You'll get notified when our videos go up. See you on the next review.
Shopping is easy when you know what to buy.